Donkeys. Uh-oh. Hey guys, March log. Coming up to the end of the March now, and some fairly exciting news. Lockdown almost over. Restrictions have been lifted. We can now go anywhere in Wales that we want to. Haven't gone anywhere exciting today. A few reasons. Nothing is really open, so it would kind of be a case of driving to a forest or a beach to walk him round, to walk the dog around, rather than just walking to somewhere to walk him round, which wouldn't have been a bad thing because there are some interesting places nearby, and it would also help him get used to the car, which he does need to do because we've also got a camping trip booked for a few weeks time. So April vlog is probably going to be camping trip, so that's going to be exciting. We've just spotted the donkeys up in this our enemy up in the field that we're going to walk through. If you've seen the other vlogs, I have mentioned that on a previous walk one of them tried to stamp on the dog, which isn't good, so I'm going to have to carry him. He's a bit muddy, so I'm going to get a little muddy, but that's fine. Better to be a bit dirty than have a trampled dog. So yeah, we're going to walk through and we're going to go up to some woods and collect some sticks and things, because I've bought a new camping stove and I want to try it out. So yeah, see you soon. Got to the gate, couldn't see the donkeys, had a good look round, we weren't there, so we started walking through the field. It's quite a steep field, and we got about halfway up the hill, and all of a sudden one of the donkeys came running out to this side field, so I had to pick the dog up. It's wet my trousers. Well, it makes it look like I've wet my trousers. It's the dog has wet my trousers because he's wet, not because he's weed. So yeah, that was fun-ish. Anyway, go across a main road, or busy road now, and then we'll be up into the woods. See the sheep up on the hill, watching them. Watching the dog. We came past here a few days ago, and they were quite close to the gate, and a few of them were coming closer and stamping their feet. They were definitely holding their ground. They probably wouldn't any other time of year, but they've got lambs at the moment, so they would fight the dog, I presume. Mystery solved. It wasn't the dog that was wet, it was my water bottle that was leaking. And now it does look like I've wet myself. Oh well. I know this area well, so I know he's fine off the lead. If there's any groups of people, then I can bring him back onto the lead, but other than that, he'll be fine. Another steep hill. That's all there is around here. This is one of those managed forests where they pack the trees in as dense as they can, and then after a certain number of years they chop down the trees in one area and then replant, and then the next year they move on to another area, and so on. You can see how many trees there are that are falling over, so we have to be very careful when we're in. There's a tree right there. If you can see how much it's moving from side to side. I can just point out the one see that one? If I put my finger straight, and maybe you can see how much it's moving, or not. Hear someone shouting. That's fine, as long as Cheddar doesn't run off. The noise of the trees creaking is pretty spooky. This would make one of those cool ASMR videos. Just do like 10 hours filming of the trees creaking. Spooky moss covered trees. Have to be very careful when you're walking. Just how densely packed the trees are. And then you get these massive holes forming, and huge rocks being churned up by the roots as well. Just having a quick sit down, quick break, testing out the new camera. I say new camera, we bought it ahead of our planned trip to Florida and planned wedding, which obviously didn't go through because of something happened. It was on the news. I can't quite remember what it was. Some bug or something. Yeah, that was almost a year ago now when we were meant to go. Mrs. Stu was looking to do some YouTube videos doing like booktubing, and if you don't know what booktubing is, I do, because I've had to sit through some. So you get these people who like books, and they'll do like a time lapse of them reading a book and like reading montages, and then what they'll do is they'll like talk like this, and they'll like say other things, and then they'll like, oh my god, and they'll talk like this, and every time they want to talk, it just seems like they can only do it when they're driving their car, and they've all got boyfriends with really stupid names. Yeah, so anyway, she wanted to do that, so we got a nice camera, and it turns out obviously I'm using it now, so it didn't go to waste after all. So I'm gonna start collecting some wood. I don't want anything too big, just one of these like rocket stove type designs. So you only really need small sticks. This sort of thing would be would be ideal. So I'm going to collect a load of that, and then when I go home, I'm going to try it out, maybe even film it. But I didn't bring it up here because I didn't want to have to carry it. It's not light, but I just didn't want to have to carry it, and didn't really want to have a fire in the middle of the woods because this stuff is it's mostly dry. Yeah, so cool. Camping next month. So I'm all done. Just heading back to one of the trails now. It's actually not a very big forest, and there's lots of trails that intersect it as well. There's one just by here. Now I know from no matter where I am in there, the whole area slopes. The whole area slopes up that way. So depending on which way the slope is, whether I'm looking at it this way or I'm looking at it this way, I know whether that up there is at the top of the hill, obviously, and there's a trail up there, and then there's obviously a trail down here. Jump down. About a month or so ago, I came up here to test out a folding saw that I made. And so I found myself a nice little spot in the woods, hung my coat up on a tree, hung Cheddar's lead up on the tree, my water bottle was in it, my phone was inside it, and I was trying to find the perfect bit of wood, you know. I wanted to have a nice sort of Gandalf-esque staff to walk home with, to help me in, because it was quite muddy back then. And I couldn't quite find it, and I've just moved it a little bit here and I moved it a little bit there, and then I felt a few specks of rain, and I looked up and I thought, hang on, I don't know where my coat is. And so I moved and tried to look around another tree, and I just couldn't spot it. And as I said, it's not a huge bit of forest, but it's so densely packed together, and all the trees look the same. And so oh, what is he doing? So I walked through, and then, you know, within a few minutes I panicked a little, and then I composed myself, and I just thought, right, head back to the main trail and retrace the steps back in. And I did that, and I found it within a couple of minutes, you know. And sometimes you do have to just chill out, because it is really easy to go from being completely fine when you're in the outdoors into a survival situation. And as it happened, as soon as I put my coat back on, it started raining quite heavy. It was getting dark as well, because it was still winter. Yeah, so I mean, I would have been okay. I would have just had to have walked home and gotten soaking on the way home. But if I was out in the middle of nowhere camping, it could have been a different story. Haven't seen anyone out walking today. Usually see the odd person up here. See the odd one or two people up here walking, or with their dogs or with their kids or something. I think it's one of the reasons why I chose to do this today rather than something maybe a bit more exciting, is that I figured that since today was being billed by some of the media outlets as like a Christmas day for families, because it's the first time that they've been able to just go wherever they want for months. So I figured everywhere would be really busy today, or anywhere exciting like a beach or country park or whatever. Caw-caw! Caw-caw! Ow! He normally doesn't like water much, so this is bizarre. Maybe he's just got the zoomies because he needs to poo, and he's just trying to work it. Oh my god, he's just trying to work it out of himself. Which is odd because we're in the middle of nowhere, and he usually likes to keep hold of it until we get back to civilization, and he can just do a big poo outside someone's house. So that obviously I have to clean it up rather than just bury it out here. So yeah, that's the lane where I lost my coat. So I knew I'd come down this way from the top, and about halfway down I'd gone in. And then somewhere in there, then that's where I started looking for that perfect stick. I couldn't find it, and then I was frantically looking all over the place, and then I composed myself, went back to the trail up there, found my way back, and then found it, no problem. Come on, let's go back down this way. Well, I'd need to say thank you as well for everyone that watches, and you know, in particular the people that I either got YouTube Red or the ad revenue as well. It's not a huge amount by any means, but the amount that I do get, I've started investing it. So I mean, this isn't financial advice. I'm not going to try and sell you anything or give you any referral links or anything like that. But yeah, I've started investing that money, and yeah, it's more. So you know, it was something. Now it's more. So hopefully that'll continue. So thank you to everyone who watches the videos. As I said, I might do an outro for this video of me testing out that new camp stove cooking thing. It's cheap off Amazon. Again, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not going to do any links or anything for it. But yeah, hopefully the next vlog will be me camping. And I know there is a forest that I was toying about going to today, but like I said, it's probably going to be really busy, and I figured maybe I could go camping there. There is actually a proper campsite there. I can camp in there later on in the year and show you all. There's loads of like old war bunkers and things like that. It used to be a massive TNT factory. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now because there's a dog just down the hill with a family, and I need to put Cheddar back on the lead. For a moment I thought he was trying to work out how to get down that hill, so you could go and sniff that dog's butt, because that's what dogs like doing. They like sniffing butts. It's just started to rain now, so as long as it doesn't rain too hard, I can still test out that little stove. Oh, Yeah. I was about to show you, as we come over the hill, the rain clouds in the distance, but oh well, it's actually raining, so didn't need to worry about that. I don't think it's going to rain too heavy. If it does, maybe we'll have to postpone it. If it doesn't, game on. Game on! Game on! Game on!